All right, who's in, who's out? Let's go.
A lot of changes.
You have a lot of changes.
Decent amount of changes.
Wow. All right, AFC East. 5-2 Buffalo, 3-3 Miami, 2-4 Patriots. 3 teams in play.
Only one team in play, my friend. Buffalo.
Wow. Buffalo's a -4. There's one team in that division that has a positive point differential.
Got to be New York Jets.
They're a -118. The Dolphins are a +47.
And change quarterbacks.
I got Buffalo. But it's starting to get interesting, friends. I feel like Jim Nance. Friends, it's starting to get interesting over here. I got Buffalo in the East. AFC North, 6-0, 5-1, 5-2. 3 teams in play.
Pittsburgh. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a declaration.
Yup, of independence. I don't know where I was going with that. Pittsburgh, winning the division.
All right, Pittsburgh it is. They play Baltimore this week. I got Baltimore winning it. I like Baltimore a little bit more than I like Pittsburgh. They play this week. So I'll go Baltimore. But I like Pittsburgh a lot.
I don't know why this Baltimore team, to me, they're missing something. Maybe a Zach Ertz. No, I don't know if it's a Zach Ertz. But I don't know. Something about that Ravens team, I don't know. It's just missing something to me.
They're a +75. Pittsburgh's a +65.
It's crazy to say.
But giving up 104 points, by the way.
Could it be Lamar Jackson? I know that sounds crazy, but could that be what it's somewhat missing? Like Lamar Jackson with that extra step that you need him to take?
Maybe. I mean, they've shown that they can't beat Kansas City still. So I think Pittsburgh might be more interesting against Kansas City.
Definitely.
But I'll go Baltimore in that one. All right, South, Tennessee, Indy, and the other 2 teams are combined 2-12.
It's got to be the Titans. You know, I know they did not start out strong against the Steelers. They got themselves back into it, Big Ben with a couple interceptions. But the Titans team, they still have the right identity. They'll bounce back next.
You know, I think it's closer than I like the Tennessee Titans. I've had them the whole season. I haven't moved them once. They're 5-1. Indy's 4-2. Indy's a +42. Tennessee's a +35. Indy's only given up 115 points. Their defense is pretty good. Tennessee's given up 153. Big difference there.
I like this Colts team.
Yeah. I think that loss to Jacksonville really skewed us a lot. They lost to Jacksonville.
It was early,
Week 1.
weird training camp stuff. You know, like these guys haven't had any action.
They had their 2 losses were bad, too. They lost to Indianapolis and they lost to Cleveland. That's not an awful loss. But you would think they should have beat Cleveland.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, their wins are against the Jets, Bears, and Bengals. Not a great resume there.
So now you're going back on your word.
No, I had Tennessee. I'm going with Tennessee.
Okay.
I like Indianapolis, though. Everything other than their record is better than Tennessee is. West, Kansas City.
I love how that's just a thing at this point. You know, imagine being in that position. The Chiefs. All right, what's next?
Well, that division's not very good.
No, that's true, but it's just because how powerful they are as a squad as well. It's sort of like if the New England Patriots with Tom Brady was in play, every time the AFC East came up, I'm sure over the last handful of seasons, it wasn't even a question. Patriots.
Were written in on the paper, I think, when I printed it.
I was just going to say that. You just keep it in bold letters from the Microsoft Word paper that you print out.
All right, let's go to the wild cards. Give me 3. Utah.
I got the Browns making the playoffs. This is
Wow.
the first time I put them in. Even with the OBJ injury, and I'm not overreacting to how well they played without him, but I do think the Browns can sneak in. That would make it 3 AFC North teams because the Ravens also getting in. So I have the Ravens, Browns, and Colts as my wild card teams. So you have Pittsburgh, Ravens, Browns, all from the same division, and then the Colts.
All right. I've got Pittsburgh because I have Baltimore winning the North. I've got Indy, and I'm sticking with Miami.
Wow.
They had a bye last week, so they didn't do anything to get pushed out. I had them in last week.
Well, they changed quarterbacks.
I like that Miami team. They did change quarterbacks. I like that Miami team. I don't love the Raiders.
Nah, me neither. I'm out on
Cleveland,
them.
I'm still like wishy-washy on.
I know, it's hard, but I went for it.
And other than that, who else is there? Miami's 3-3. They're a +47. +47.
I don't think they're ready for the playoffs yet.
We'll see. Halfway through, I got them in.
Crazy man you are, Mike.
All right, let's look at the NFC. 7 teams. NFC East, 2-4, 2-5, 2-4-1, 2-5, 2-5, 1-6. 4 teams in play.
It's so embarrassing.
1-6, 4 teams in play.
I'm going to the Eagles. The Eagles are winning the division. I had the Cowboys in there for a while. We're making the move. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Yeah, I went Eagles last week. I'm sticking there, but Washington beat the Eagles, and they're a -32. The Eagles are a -33. -32. Washington, best in the division.
You know how we chalk everything up to 2020? Something tells me Washington on that last game of the season is going to beat the Eagles out for the division.
That'd be crazy. Washington, by the way, giving up 165, best in the division.
Not bad.
Yep. All the resume signs point to Washington except for the one thing. Philly beat San Francisco. That's the best win in the division. All right. North, 5-1, 5-2, 3-3. Detroit's hanging around.
They are.
3 teams in play.
They are hanging around, but I'm going to go with Green Bay winning this division. Aaron Rodgers, bounce back, easy.
Yeah, I got Green Bay. They're a +38. They're the only team with a positive point differential in the division. Chicago's a -2. Detroit's a -9. Not too bad. All right, we go to the one problem with Green Bay, though. They've given up 159. Their defense is not very good. The South, 5-2, 5-2, 3-4. 3 teams in play.
Did you see that pass by Tom Brady, that touchdown pass, by the way?
To Godwin?
Oh, my Lord. He still has it.
He zipped that thing in there. And then he got in Godwin's face and broke his finger. Godwin broke his finger on that play, dislocated it.
Tom Brady is doing what Tom Brady does. The season starts out a little slow, and then boom, they turn the corner, they turn the page, they figure things out. This Buccaneers team is starting to get scary, and Antonio Brown is incoming.
Yep, I like Tampa Bay. I've liked them since the beginning. I switched on them. I'm so disappointed in myself. I will never do that again to Tom Terrific. I like they're a +80, by the way. Might be the best team in football.
Yeah, they're a hell of a team right now. It seems like they turned the page. They figured it out.
Quick.
And here comes Antonio Brown.
I'm very interested to see if that's going to be a positive or a negative.
It's hard to think it's a negative, though.
Just a lot of, Godwin. Godwin, he dislocated his finger or whatever. I would imagine he still plays. Mike Evans, Godwin, Gronk, Brown, Ronald Jones, Fournette. You got a lot of mouths to feed out there.
Yeah. But you got Tom Brady.
He's the one. The West, 5-1, 5-2, 5-2, 4-3. 4 teams in play.
This one's tough. I am going to go with Seattle still because of the quarterback. Russell Wilson, the best quarterback in that division. Tough loss. Had a couple brutal interceptions against Arizona. Hell of a win by Kyler Murray and that squad. But I'm going to stick with Seattle for right now.
Seattle's interesting. They're a +31. It's the worst in the division.
Wow.
+57. Arizona is the best in the division. The Rams are next at +52, and then 49ers +45. I'm sticking with Seattle, but I'm starting to get a little shaky about that defense. 172 they've given up. I don't know. You're asking the quarterback to play great every single week, which I think he can do 11, 12 times. Should be enough to win the division. But that defense is a problem. Arizona's defense is not very good either. Their offense is fun. The Rams, I still think the Rams are like a 10-6-ish. I think they're inconsistent. 49ers are interesting.
But would 10-6 get you into the postseason?
I think so. Let's find out. 3 wild cards. Who do we got?
This was really hard. I'm not going to lie.
You got a lot of teams in play. I would say all the NFC East teams are out of the wild card mix. But you got Chicago, Detroit, New Orleans, Carolina, Arizona, the Rams, and San Francisco. Only 3 of them can get in.
All right, so I have the Saints.
They all have, Carolina's the only one that does not have a winning record. They're 3-4.
I have the Saints, although I'm skeptical of the Saints because they haven't been the version of themselves that we anticipated them to be. But I will give them the benefit of the doubt having Drew Brees. And maybe when Michael Thomas ever gets back, they will find their rhythm once again as an offense. I'll go Saints, I'll go Rams, and I'm going to go 49ers. That leaves the Cardinals out. After that type of win, it's hard to do it. I think this 49ers team, though, I know they keep losing guys and their injuries continue to pile on, but they are, like, getting some guys back. It seems like it's, like, similar to the Eagles. They get some guys back, other guys leave. But, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking because of what they did against the Patriots, and the Patriots are a dumpster fire team right now, but it does seem like they're getting their groove back, and I would feel better about them than the Cardinals based off of what they did last year and having more experience than Kyler Murray. I think the Cardinals are just a little shy this year. Fun.
Who are your three?
Saints, Rams, Niners.
Okay. It's hard to argue with a lot of these. I'm going Chicago. As we chronicled earlier, I think they have a stretch of games where they're going to win 5 or 6 more. If you win 5 or 6 more, they're going to be at 10 or 11. They have a really fugazi schedule coming up where they play a bunch of nobodies. That defense is really good, too, by the way. Chicago is only giving up 140. That is in the NFC, the second best. Third best, sorry. But let's see. Chicago's played 7. Yeah, so they're the third best. 140 is third best behind the Rams and the 49ers. I've got Arizona and the Rams. That's what I'm going with. No Saints, no 49ers.
Isn't it crazy, though? Because, like, all these teams can easily be one of these wild card squads. That's how tough and how tight it's really going to be.
Well, and that's why, by the way, Chris Godwin fractured the left index finger on his hand, making a touchdown catch. It's going to require surgery. He will miss Monday night's game. Depending on how it heals, he could return for Week 9 against the Saints. So he's not out long term, but he broke his finger on that touchdown catch.
It's unfortunate he doesn't have a Jalen Reagor body that heals quicker than anybody in the history of the universe.
Reagor, and we'll talk to Moshe tomorrow, and maybe Adam will have an answer for us on Thursday, but there's some thoughts that Reagor could play in the game Sunday night.
I know, it's wild. Now, I do want to get your thoughts on this because we talked about the Chicago Bears and their remaining schedule. There is actually, and Mike Clay put this out at Mike Clay NFL, the Eagles have the third easiest schedule remaining. And we talk about how they go through that stretch of Cleveland, Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans, and Arizona. Yet because they play Dallas twice, New York and Washington, because of how bad those teams are, that puts them at the third easiest schedule remaining. That is bonkers to me.
Well, they have 4 games left against 3 of the worst teams in the league because they play Dallas twice.
Right.
But other than that, the other 5 games are all teams that are really good.
Right. So it's like you're telling me a stretch of 4 really tough games sprinkled in with some bad NFC East games, that makes you the third easiest schedule? I thought that was a little crazy.
In that stretch of games where they had the 5 very tough games.
Yeah, 5 games.
The most difficult, the easiest game is against 4-2 New Orleans.
So you're agreeing with me that seems kind of outrageous.
Oh yeah,
big time.
Yeah.
Like I don't believe it. I feel like the number crunching is wrong.
I mean, you're playing against New York. They're 1-6. You got Dallas twice, 2-5. So that's 3-11, and then you double them up. I mean, and you got Washington on there again. So that's another 2-5. So 4-10, 5-16, and throw Dallas on there twice. That's why.
Well, I'm looking at Cleveland, for example, because they have the number 1 easiest schedule remaining, according to this. They play Vegas, the Texans, Eagles, Jacksonville, Titans. What is BLT? Why am I drawing a blank here? What would BLT be?
Baltimore?
Yes, Baltimore. New York Giants, New York Jets, and Pittsburgh. So that's the number 1 easiest in the NFL.
Yeah, it's a good reason why Cleveland might make the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt.
Where's Chicago on that list?
Chicago is 16, dead smack in the middle.
And they have a stretch down late in the year with 4 straight that are very winnable.
Yes, with Detroit, Houston, Minnesota, Jacksonville.
Yeah. All right, that's who's in and who's out. We think That's why you do it every week. It changes every week. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't imagine that 1 week is going to change, but 1 week changes your opinion so much.
I know.